So first on the program, we've got Rash. Rash, where are you? Oh, right there. Okay, we've got Rash on the program. Next on the intro, a whole multi-award winning artist. Nasty, you know I'm talking about you. And then we've got Muzi. Muzi, where you at? And then on to our next guest, we've got Wade, a whole co-founder of Baggy Roads. And then we've got Jaxx in the building. And then last but never the least, we've got Sonwabile, everybody. Guys, what a whole lineup. Oh my God, can you guys see me? No. Can you see me?
Shift back slightly.
Yeah, as long as you can see me, no. So first up on the program, before we even start with anything, we're about to watch a video right now. It will tell us all about the app, and then we're going to be asking Rash some questions so that he can just go into detail, all right? Yes.
Cool. So just first out, I have to just give a quick shout out to my team, because how good does everything look tonight? Yeah. Where are they? I'm going to put them on the spot quickly. The sportscene marketing team, shout out, they did the most. Yeah, they've got an amazing evening planned. So just two things quickly, okay? So we all saw the video on the app at the back there, and I think the best description is if Instagram, Spotify, and Netflix had a baby, you'll get the sportscene Social Club app. Right, I'm going to go into a little bit of the detail quickly, but then there's something else that maybe you wouldn't have seen on screen that's equally as important. But firstly, we obviously got 24-hour local radio station. You can tap into that at any point. We've got DJ series. We've got obviously the latest in sneaker and apparel drops. We've got shopping. We've got latest culture articles and information. And then we also have all of this content series. We've got multiple shows, Conversation in Culture, Soul Woman, and the list goes on. But tonight is not just about promoting this app. You see, that's the social part of it. But as you see on all the signage, it's the social club. So what is the club piece of this whole app? And I'm just going to drop a little bit of a serious stat. It's the only time I'm going to be serious the whole night, so forgive me. But in the spirit of Youth Month, there is a very scary stat that exists out there, and that is that 46.1% of our youth are unemployed at the moment, right? So that is quite staggering. In actual kind of multiples, that's 4.8 million people. 52% of those are between the ages of 16 and 24. And so the reason I'm sharing that with you tonight is because for us as sportscene, as a brand, and also we speak on behalf of all of our brand partners who have supported us in this initiative as well, is that we just want to say that we see you. And tonight is about our response to that stat, all right? The app, as much as it is about promoting culture and entertainment and all the rest of it, the app is a way for us to connect with you. It's a way that we can bring people together, and it's a way that we can build a bridge between you guys as creatives and the brands and also each other. So tonight is about linking hands, joining arms, and saying, how do we work together? And how do we make sure that we are seeing the problems that are in the country, but that we're also offering solutions? So the two main reasons for unemployment is two very small things. Not small, actually big. The one thing is an opportunity gap. And that's why we're coming together this evening to say, hey, as a brand, we can provide opportunities for the people who are looking for work, for people who are looking to co-create culture with us, right? And then the other part of that is the skills and experience gap. And that's when, we get questions like, Rash, how do we just get into a room and, get access? How do we get into a room and be able to ask questions to people who have already done it? And if you look to my left here, that's why all these amazing people are here on the panel tonight. So tonight is giving you access to, have a one-on-one with your heroes and to be able to ask them the questions that you've been dying to ask. So if you want to know what Social Club is all about and what this mixer is about, it's us coming together to network with each other and to build bridges between the brands and the creatives.
Guys, you guys look so dope. I need to ask, I know we don't have time, sorry, but I need to ask, who are you guys wearing? I'll start. So, I'm wearing a red bat from head to toe dolls. And then Crocs was like, you know what, let us give you something too. And I was like, fine. So, I'm wearing Crocs on the shoes. Rash, do you want to tell them what you're wearing?
Okay, well, I'm always in all black, so I'm not even going to mention that. But two things I will mention is we're always keeping it local. Shout out to the Broke Boys in Cape Town. And then, of course, we got to come with the unreleased heat from Puma. So thank you. Shout out to Puma.
Yes. Nasty, over to you. You never do outfit checks there. You never say like, oh, no, I'm wearing this.
Nah, it's Nike. Nike, yeah. Then I got apparently these are very new. These are exclusive, I don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah. The
Wait,
Air
are those
Max.
the DNAs?
What?
Oh, yeah, those are DNAs. Now restart. Say that you're wearing the DNAs tomorrow.
You said GNX?
DNA.
I'm wearing the DNA.
Yeah. Muzi, over to you. From head to toe, please.
Vans.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Wadey.
Reebok, obviously. Thank you so much to the team. Yeah.
And the shoes?
All Reebok.
Oh, here. Jaxx.
I'm wearing Anatomy, and then on my feet is Asics.
Puma.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Even the underwear, Puma.
Yeah. Oh, same. Even the underwear, red bands, Now, guys, we have close to like 200 people watching us. This is big. So now the first question I'm going to start with is, in your journeys, right? When did you realize that, oh, I'm big? Okay, maybe not big, just for, modest sake. But when did you know that, oh my gosh, my life is changing? Let's start with Jaxx.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go to you. Must spice things up.
How's
it? If you know, you know.
I think for me, I owned a company called Until, and we did festivals like Bacardi Holiday Club, Best Day Ever, Sunday Roast, etc.
Yeah.
And I remember we were in the club, and as like the group of friends, and I was in charge of finances, and this message came in, and we had gotten our first, not profit, revenue of like, a PO came in and it was a couple of millions. Ooh. And then it was just like, oh my God.
Ooh, that's where you knew.
Yeah, that's where we knew. But we were frugal people.
Yeah.
So immediately we were like, because we had balances and checks. So my other friend also had access. So he's seeing me across the club. Charles was DJing. He's seeing me. And what we did was we just bought a bottle of Omega to celebrate. That was it. Ooh. We weren't going to blow it.
Yeah.
We were very frugal people. So I think for me, once you see 6 zeros, it's a 7. It's 7 numbers. I'm bad at maths, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was the moment for me, was like where it was like,
you made
oh,
it.
This thing is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, Muzi, when did you know that, I made it?
I'm independent. I'm still on that journey. I don't think
That's okay.
Yeah, I think but I've had moments that have been like, okay, cool. This is wild. I've had a lot of those, but it's never like I've made it.
Okay, then
'Cause-
tell us about that moment.
Yeah, okay, there's a lot of those. There's
Yeah.
like
First one that
Coldplay.
pops in.
Paris with Burna Boy and Coldplay playing Africa.
Why are you just brushing it off like
Why you
that?
gotta so bad?
Don't brush it off like that. Excuse me. Wait. No. Don't brush it off like that. Excuse
Okay,
me.
okay, cool. Okay.
He's
I'll
like
share the story.
Paris.
Okay, cool. I'm playing Afropunk Paris, and I was playing before Burna Boy, and I was on. So they had prepared the stage for Burna's set. So like I'm performing like this, and the curtains are here on this big stage. But I didn't know that Chris Martin was watching me. So when I'm done with the performance, he comes back to the stage and he's like, "Yo, that's like one of the best things I've ever seen. Do you want to work with us?"
What?
And that's how our relationship started.
My gosh. That is crazy.
that was cool.
Okay, so Sonwabile, you're gonna have to top that. No. Let's hear what you have to say. When did you realize?
Me, I still don't think, I don't see it still. But the time I realized.
What do you mean you don't see? Can you
also
see where you
humble.
are?
Huh?
Can you see where you are sitting right
man,
now?
I'm starting to deep it a little bit.
Okay.
deep it a little bit.
Okay,
But
yeah.
It was the time I went home and I brought KFC back home, and my mom was like, "Oh, you can buy food. You can buy food for us." That's when I was like, "Okay, shit, I'm big. Yeah,
Are you
that's
being
it.
for real?
I'm being for real.
Shout out to
I
you
promise.
bringing KFC home.
When my
Why
mom,
did you guys clap for that? Hey, bro. Thanks. Wait, when did you find out?
Interesting one, I guess.
Yeah.
We started our agency about 7 years ago now.
Oh, 7 years. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
November will be 7. But it was myself and my business partner for the longest time
Yeah.
independently.
Yeah.
And I think when we started being able to grow and build our team and hire people
Yeah.
and sort of scale up the businesses when it started to feel like real. But yeah, it's really exciting. I think now we have a team of about 6, which is amazing. 6 total. Bunch of cool young people
Yeah.
doing amazing brand and design work. So
Yeah.
it's something I'm incredibly proud of. To Rash's point, something I think it's very important.
Yeah, nice. And you, Nesty?
Mine is very similar to what Sonwabile said.
Yeah. Oh,
It's the
come
first
on.
time I was able to pay for like electricity,
Oh.
buy food and stuff like that. That's when I really felt like, okay, I'm doing something that,
Oh,
that can sustain me.
wow.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. So, next question, right? What's something the internet doesn't know about you guys? Maybe a journey. So, like, guys, we can't be that boring. I mean, come on. Thanks. Okay. So, what's something the internet doesn't know about your journey? A moment that changed everything for you, but maybe it never made it to the TL or the internet. Anybody can go first. Let me not handpick. Whoever's ready to answer. You see now why I must handpick? Muzi, let's start with you. That's exactly why.
Okay. I dropped out of school. I don't know if maybe people know this. I used to study medicine, and then I dropped out to follow my dream. But then I was immediately tested how much I wanted this dream.
Yeah.
Because I went back home. My mom was like, I ain't hearing none of what you
Yeah.
said. So I had to go like fend for myself. I was like homeless and all of that stuff. Then I meet John, that guy there, and then we started building the career.
What year did you drop out?
It would be 2011.
But was it your 4th year, 5th year?
I was going to my 4th year, so I had 2 more years to go.
Whoa, that's crazy.
No, let's all judge Muzi together. Muzi. Come on.
Why do you want to be unhappy and be a doctor?
Nice, I like
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I think, especially for something like this, I think it's important to like, I don't know, I used to see myself sitting in chairs like this when
Yeah.
I was younger.
Yeah.
So like, but the journey of it has been like one of, I guess, unrelenting, borderline delusional
Yeah.
self-belief.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, but it's that, like started from like literally nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Nice to see you.
sleeping on couches and itchy beds. Like,
Oh, damn.
there's a couple people that I knew coming up to Joburg, I obviously didn't have a place to stay here. I didn't have family this side or nothing like that. So I used to just crash at my friend's place and just sleep on, like, you know that couch that folds up into a couch and then you can unfold it into a bed? That phrase, I guess.
And where were you recording all your music? Or
on that same couch there by the laptop. Yeah.
Using what? Your phone? What were you using?
No, proper microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, by then I had a proper condenser.
Oh, okay, at least, okay. Yeah. And then you wait.
People don't see. For me, I think the part about an agency and running a design business was really how many times we almost quit.
Yeah.
just a lot of times over the 7 years, we're just like, actually, we're going to throw in the towel, and this is really difficult, and it's really challenging for whether it is financial reasons, team reasons, client reasons, any of these things, even personal reasons where you just, it's a hard thing to do, you know? But I don't know, somehow we always just went back into work the next day.
What kept you going?
I don't know. I think it was the feeling that we were onto something, or that there was some momentum building, or that we had started a little bit, and it was just kind of worth cracking on. And I think also feeling like we have something to say or something to contribute still. You know? I think as creative people, and you know, in general, we want to be able to put our voice out, put our work out. And yeah, I think it just, for whatever reason, it's just like it never felt like it was finished, you know? Unfortunately, I guess we're still here, so.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Jax, you?
I'll speak on it on two perspectives, right?
I'm listening.
I can relate to you because we were also an agency. And I think for a long time, people would see like these sold out events and think like we're making bank, but the reality was none of us were taking a salary. So what we would do is I'd say, Wade, what are your expenses? And Wade would say 5K, and that's what Wade gets. And then my expenses are maybe 8, because for example, I come from the Eastern Cape. So I had to rent and whatnot, so I got a little bit higher. But Charles still lived at home, so he got paid 3K. So, and this was for about 7 years. I think we only got salaries in like 2019, like officially like UIF, I'm paying towards PAYE. Oh, wow. And then I think a second perspective is that from my TikTok and content or whatever, people sit there and they're like, oh my God, you're so smart. You've been able to, well, hold on now. You've been able to explain so much, but I failed economics 5 times. 5 times. I remember being like, I'm gonna quit now, having written that 5th paper and being like, damn this, I have a business. Like, why am I even doing this? And I got on a call with one of my friends and they were like, you don't even have the marks, so why are you already deregistering? And they were right, because then I passed. And so, but I think the very big one is that, until we didn't take salaries for 7 years, maybe, like proper salaries. So that was tough.
That is crazy. So basically, stay in school, kids. Sonwabile, yours?
Me, I'm going to say don't stay in school. I'm playing. Me, I think there's something in Joburg, because I left home. I'm from Bloem. I left home telling my parents I came here to study. First time in Joburg, I heard it's a city of gold. I came here looking for the streets that are made of gold. Came here with a thingy, red polo. Got here, I only went to campus like 2 times. Hey, I was in the backyard shooting thingies, YouTube videos. But it's like, I think just take the leap. I took the leap of faith, dropped out. I don't encourage you guys to drop out.
Don't do that.
Don't drop out, but...
Except Muzi.
Except for Muzi.
But that's it.
Coldplay,
I think that was my hardest time there when I was like trying to decide if I should take the leap or stay in school.
And have you guys ever done something purely for the bag? Like you knew that, no man, this campaign does not align with me, but I have to take it because I need the money. Have you guys?
I've never done that.
Never.
Never?
Hold on, let me explain to you now.
Okay.
So for example, I once did a campaign for coup pilchards, right? And I remember my friends making fun of me. I grew up on cool pilchards,
Yeah.
right? That wasn't, sharp, what you're seeing on the outside, it wasn't far removed from me. Like, in my house, there was pilchards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've never, and I've always felt like maybe this is what is missing in content creation, is that authenticity, right? So I've said no to a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
I've stopped drinking. There's a couple of brands who've come to me and say, just do it for the bag. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at that money and I'm like, it's big, but I won't take it because for me, there's almost like a social contract that you get into with the people that are consuming your content. And longevity is only going to come from obliging by that social contract,
Yeah.
which is being authentic.
Yeah.
So I've never done it.
But now you're gonna make the rest feel bad because what if they've done it before?
Aye, but we don't all have the same lives, Betunana.
Wait.
That's the reality.
Have you ever had to take?
For design, yeah, I think so. It's like, I think it's common knowledge almost like, oh, I mean, I wonder how many graphic designers are in the house.
Any graphic designers
Does
in
they
here?
have that? Yeah, okay, sick. It's kind of known you do some jobs so you can do the other ones. You know,
Yeah.
like one for, what do people say? One for them, one for me, or whatever. But not really. I think it's having the ability to kind of consult at both levels for us that was interesting. So doing bigger commercial work, which is maybe a little bit more boring. But we still kind of enjoy it. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's kind of challenging in itself.
Yeah.
But I think you do the tough ones to hopefully do a lot of cool stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
get to do,
And then
yeah.
you, Muzi? Have you ever done something purely for the bag?
I think, okay, my career has two phases.
Yeah.
I guess there's the part where I'm taking it seriously, I'm registered in Sambro. Then there's
Yeah.
the part before that
Yeah.
where I was just like doing it to survive. Like I used to sell beats for like $100, 150. So it didn't matter if the rapper was whack.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to sell the beat.
Yeah.
Beat that check. Let me get the cash.
That's
and,
good.
Because like I started off making beats and then like artists would get on beats sometimes and I wouldn't like it. So that's how I started singing on my songs.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, no, sound like this. But early on, man, I'm trying to get caught or bread or whatever. I'm just trying to have some cash.
Yeah.
So I used to sell them for like 150 rands, $100, 50 rands, whatever.
Also, you're saying you used to do beats and now, then after that, you started singing. Guys, Muzi is a singer, a songwriter, a DJ, a producer. What else, Muzi? What else? At this point, what
Dad,
else?
most importantly, a dad.
Oh, yes. But that's
I'm a
crazy.
father first.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Phew. And a dad.
yeah, but like, yeah, no, like I think early on, like you're so hell bent to trying to get on.
Yeah.
But like you're also fighting for survival. Like
Yeah.
that's the reality of most of us.
To
like,
be honest, yeah.
You're starting in high school, your friends think you dope.
Yeah.
But like you seeing a bigger picture, so you're taking a few more risks, and early on those risks are working with whack artists sometimes, man. Like
Yeah.
people that you know they're like passing by, then they don't really want to be musicians, but you just work with them.
Yeah.
Get 100 rand.
And you, Nasty, have you ever said yes?
Yeah, definitely. I have.
Which one is it?
Nah, I can't tell you.
Okay,
I
fine.
definitely can't say, but I've, in many ways, man, I've been a part of campaigns where it's like, mid-campaign, I'm like, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
But the bag was too good. But I've done verses like for people who was like, I hate this song.
Yeah,
But
but
the
you have to
bag-
do the verse.
The bag was too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it comes to this question. I actually want to ask you guys. Have you guys ever said no to a campaign?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel like maybe it didn't align with you, or did you guys
Yeah.
feel like the budget? Is it the budget or what?
Nah,
I
sometimes.
just also,
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead, go
before
ahead, go
to-
ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
I also just want to explain that, like, when I'm sitting on this panel and I'm listening, I am privileged.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that I. do
That's
have-
why you said no.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I can say no
Okay.
to certain things and
Okay.
yes, and it might not be applicable to everyone.
Okay.
Just so, please. Yeah.
Got it.
Disclaimer: don't go around saying no if you're broke.
But I mean, if it doesn't align with you, Nasty C, I think you were about to say something.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. I'll go. So
Yeah.
I think I think it's a really important part of the conversation, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's the part where you got to trust the process. I know for me, before I was head of marketing at sportscene, I was also very much an up-and-coming creative.
Yeah.
And making my way through music and whatnot. But I think part of that process was like, I think you touched on it when you said survival, where sometimes you just don't know where that next paycheck is coming from, and you have to make a decision between, okay, this job is going to pay the bills, but then this one is for my portfolio. And often your portfolio pieces are either going to be for free or for like a little bit of money, but it's those pieces that end up kind of paving your way into what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
And I think when you can kind of sometimes disconnect from the pieces that got to pay the bills, it sometimes is easier to make those decisions in the moment, because you realize that this is part of the process to get me to where I need to be. Because at the end of the day, you still got to eat, you still got to pay your way.
Yeah.
But then, don't kind of like let that be the deterrent to take you away from the things that you do want to do.
Yeah.
So keep the balance between both and just trust the process.
Yeah. And Muzi, why did you say no to the bag? Was it the budget?
The hardest thing for me was dropping out and being homeless.
Yeah.
So after that, everything else was easier.
No, real,
because like I think when I was in that state, like I got to know myself.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't like really gel with who I am, like I'll say no to it.
Same with you, Wade. If you feel like it doesn't align with you, is it just a straight no?
Alignment sometimes, but more like for me, it's can I confidently deliver on what is asked, you know? Sometimes the timelines are way too short.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, the budget is a little bit too low.
Yeah.
But I think it's mostly for design timeline related. Like, if you want a big thing, you need to take the time and,
Sometimes the biggest bags are the corniest ones.
Yeah, true.
Like they'll ask you to do some corny.
Yeah, but you gotta do it because the bag is big.
So I always it's a nightmare if I was to like watch myself do that like afterwards.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have a past I regret.
Have you ever pushed back?
I push back all the time. I'm Zulu, I'm stubborn.
Because I think the one thing that people miss out on is that if you're like a fashion creator and maybe they ask you to do something political, right? You immediately say no. As opposed to kind of, what I always do is I'll take the brief, and if it doesn't align with me, like, you're asking me to dance, not gonna happen, right?
I can imagine.
But I'll take the brief and then I'll say, okay, this doesn't align with me, but like, I love a fun fact.
Yeah.
So can I give 5 fun facts that relate to your brand? And then kind of spin it in that way. And I think that's a better way than just outright saying no. And I also think when you do that, brands kind of almost feel like, oh, there's an effort here, and so they're also now willing to work around you. Not all brands are going to be like that, obviously. Some are just going to be like, we want you to do this TikTok dance, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is a jive.
I get it. So now, Billy, you saying that you've never said no?
I'm lying.
You're lying. You have said.
I have said no.
Okay.
Depends. We are surviving here. Like sometimes the month is not good.
Yeah.
And then you must dollar what you must.
Yeah.
Do the campaign, but sometimes the campaigns are a bit too much.
Yeah.
Like dancing, I'm not so no one to dance.
You're getting.
But yeah.
So you guys have never regretted saying no before?
No.
Really? Like maybe after 2 weeks you're like, oh, sorry. You're like, damn, I needed that money. I could have said yes. You've never felt like that before?
Need money.
Yeah.
I mean, true. But so you've never felt like that?
Like you need to know why you're doing it. If you're in an artistic or creative career, you need to know yourself so that you know your why.
Yeah.
If you're in it for the money, that's cool. But like, because we all need money.
Yeah.
Right? But like, some of us we like the other stuff too.
Yeah.
Some of us are still kids, like that just want to create and make something we find cool.
Yeah.
So sometimes some things can work against that. That like after you've done this corny thing, you can't go back and be incredible.
Yeah.
You're corny for life.
I get you. I feel you.
So you have to watch it very carefully. It's like it's a game in a way, but everything you do sticks with you in this career. So you have to be careful with your choices.
It's the moral thing, right? So I think that's when you should always like stick with your boundaries. If you need to
think you
compromise on your morals or your ethics for a bag, it's never worth it. Never
And the
worth
world
it.
is a big place, you know.
Yeah. And also, I'm sure you guys have once received negative feedback before, right? Whether it's, like, for instance, nice to see with you. Let's say maybe on stage you're singing a song and then the audience maybe does not receive it properly. You know what I mean? Jaxx, you maybe a campaign. Wade, you client, maybe Muzi, same thing. Tell me about it. How do you guys deal with that? Nice to see. You can start. Have you ever received like negative feedback?
I have. I usually just push through and just finish, and then I'm out. There's nothing I can do. What am I gonna do?
Can't you tell like audio marks like just change the song? Can't you? You know?
Nah, I mean I can try and get through it quicker. Maybe not do the whole song.
Yeah.
Do like an acapella thing, and then but it's nothing you can do. Like,
How do you feel in the moment?
it's like it's whatever. I'm here. They paid me.
You're getting
already.
paid anyways, right?
Yeah, they paid me, and I'm here to perform. There's always a couple people that are like super locked in and that are enjoying the performance.
Yeah.
So I just zone in on them. I like to make eye contact when I'm on stage. Like I stare people down kind of. So I just like stop looking at the ones that are not enjoying and I focus on the ones that are.
Interesting. Okay, Muzi, you?
Yeah, all the time.
With what though? Your
Like-
music?
Shows not so much, man. Like I'm really
Oh,
Nah,
you're
really good. You know what I'm saying?
Nasty. Sorry.
So like you see like what Nasty's saying. Like when you're on stage, you kind of have the best view.
Yeah.
Because you can see everybody.
Yeah.
So if people aren't vibing, you can just find someone that you can literally like be performing to one person and there's like 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And you keeping your eyes on like one person that's really in it. You start having that conversation with them, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Like sets are so quick. Like an hour set goes by very quick.
Yeah.
Man, like for some reason.
Yeah.
So like in that context, no. But like like you're not for everyone, anyways. Not everyone is
You
supposed
can't be
to like
everyone's
it.
cup
So
of tea.
if I get like something that's negative or whatever, I don't even see it as negative. I'm just like, oh, okay, like I guess you like different things. Like
Yeah,
your
it's not
taste
that
is
deep.
different.
Good news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Where do you?
Same for design. So there are like design blogs and stuff. There's one called Brand New, Under Consideration, and we submitted work to it, and we did a rebrand for Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
And we explained the shift and whatever, and notoriously like design comment sections are like super mean. Like just terrible, and they'll just like tear your stuff apart and just be like, and it was kind of an honor as well that was happening for the first time. It's like some people loving it, oh my gosh, love it. Some people like, this is so bad. Like, why did they choose that mock-up? Why did they think about that color stuff? So it's subjective. You can never be tick everyone's box. But it worked for the client, worked for the brand. It still exists. So
You're fine.
Yeah, and we I guess we know the strategy and the idea, and there's a whole lot that goes into putting on a performance or putting on an event. It's not just what people think, right?
That one's tough. I like a lick back every now and then. So I believe in the block button, number one. When it comes to, I'm not going to engage you.
Yeah.
So let me give you a story. Today I launched my podcast, right?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Thank you. So in January, when I started the whole current affairs in a relatable way kind of situation, the first video I did was about Rwanda, right? And I was telling people like, this is why we're in the DRC, but I was also making jokes like, okay, Zulu people and Afrikaans people are going to be in the front lines, Xhosa people are going to be negotiators.
Yeah, I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
And this one girl made a 10-minute video about how much I don't care about South Africa and I'm not taking this seriously, and she was just bashing me for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And people were sending it to me like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna respond? So I downloaded the video, I blocked her. I never engaged her at all. Like I said, I believe in the block button.
Yeah.
The intro to my podcast is her voice saying, stop sending me that Jaxx Amahle video. I beg you, stop sending me that. lit back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna engage in your. So I've literally taken your negativity and flipped it and used it to promote myself.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I think we live in a world where there's this constant, like, there's almost there's no barriers to how people think they can speak about you, right? You don't like something of mine, you don't like Muzi's song, don't listen to it.
Yeah.
You don't like the design, move on.
Yeah, literally.
Right?
It's that easy.
But, or you don't like a video that he's done, move on from it.
Yeah.
But there's this element of like, I have to tell her how much I hate this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Shab. Like Bonita.
I'll show you.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just, we put ourselves out there. Obviously, we understand the social contract of I engage, I make things, I make music, I make design or whatever, and you, what's this thing called? And you engage with that.
Yeah.
And in some form of engagement,
Yeah.
I then get to sit on a sports scene panel, right? That's the exchange that I've given. But I've never given the exchange for cruelty.
Yeah.
So that's where it is for me. So I'll get my lip back.
I love
somehow.
that. I love it.
Same. Just delete, block. You know when I come to my comment section, yeah, tell him.
So when you don't speak about them, they on Twitch or something. You
About
don't. Your haters or whoever's
I
telling
don't
you
know.
crap.
I think you know haters are
Yeah.
actually people that love you. There was this one time, man.
Tell me
I was
about
like,
it.
okay, let me give you my attention. Someone commented something that was not nice. I commented back. I said, oh shit, what's going on? And they said, oh my God, I can't believe you replied. I'm such a big fan. What happened to the energy? What happened to the? So I just think it's people that really like you.
Yeah, they just want your
to
attention.
Get your attention.
Yeah.
And I just think everyone used to have haters. If you don't have haters, you're not doing anything in life. You must have haters.
Oh my
People
gosh.
must talk about you, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get into everybody's personal stories. So I think we should start with Jax, since she told us that she has a whole podcast now.
yeah.
So Jax, tell us about your podcast. What is it
That's
about?
Amahle.
Where can we tune in? What time? Where? Which day? Tell us about it.
So what I noticed was I studied politics, philosophy, and economics through
Period.
UNISA. I taught myself, essentially. But what I noticed was that I had this big argument with my brother about voting last year.
Yeah.
And he's a Gen Z, and he was just like, I'm not going to vote. And I was like, you come and you complain to me about how you never have electricity at BP. And so I started doing TikToks, kind of just taking complex, what people deem as complex topics, because I do find also scholars have this need to sound smart, so they use big bombastic language for nothing. So I was like, let me tap into kind of explaining things like what's happening in Rwanda, what's happening in the DRC, what's happening with Israel and Iran, for example, or in just a way that people can understand. And then there was almost like a call to action to like, 10 minutes is not enough. So I started Jaxx of all trades. First episode next week. And yeah, so I'll be essentially like doing everything from like, how does the South African government work, but I'm explaining it
In a nice
using a
way.
festival.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my story is one of like, I'm a scholar at first, and then I'm an entrepreneur, and now I'm a content creator.
But wait, now that you're moving everything to your podcast, are you still going to be speaking about it on TikTok?
Yeah.
Because up at Jax now,
Yeah.
when I say I got it from TikTok University, guys, I mean Jax. I basically just got it from Jax. Okay. So you're still going to post on TikTok and everything?
Yeah, I have to, because there's things that are more current that require, you know, you to immediately respond to it. Like, I'm not good at breaking news because I like to research. Like I said, I'm first a scholar. So I think that's still important for people who don't care for YouTube, for example, or don't want to sit and listen to me speak for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. I've left until, guys.
I was
no
about to
longer
say,
feel good.
guys, Jax left until, but Jax, I still want to ask you a few questions. I mean, I still want to know, you know how your event names are so catchy?
Yeah.
Sunday roast, best day ever, good morning. Who came up with them?
We've always had a philosophy of keep it simple, stupid. Good morning is in the morning.
Literally.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Sunday roast, we were serving plates because
Yeah.
it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
So we were like Sunday roast.
Oh.
Bacardi Holiday Club was this idea that black people don't get to go to festivals. I think at the time it was only Daisies.
Yeah.
Opie had closed down. And so we were like, we want people to come on holiday, and the reason it's all inclusive is because we wanted everyone to be equal.
Yeah.
So there's no like, I have a table and bottles.
Yeah.
And I think a very big part of that also with Until's ethos was equality in like making sure everyone is the same.
Yeah.
So these names are literally, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know how you guys feel about when you creating, I don't know if like Muzi, do you find simplicity works better than trying to overcomplicate a beat or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was about to say also, the more you attend the events, the more you understand why they're named how they're named, right?
Yeah.
Like Good Morning, guys. Good Morning starts at 10 a.m. Guys, at first I'd be like, who in their right minds would go to an event at 10 a.m.? My people, I get there at 12 p.m. and it's packed. It's so packed. I hope you know that's not normal, right?
Yeah, but it was born out of COVID. It was a solution to...
that makes sense.
Yeah, rememremember we had restrictions. We had to be home by 9.
That makes sense.
We had to be in an open space.
Yeah.
So then you say, okay, let me do... Because when COVID happened, my business shut down.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys, as well as artists, there was no shows. You could maybe get like a Channel O something. So once Cyril opened up the floodgates, we were like, we'll stay within the bounds of the law, but we're still gonna throw down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And also, do you prefer managing your own stuff or someone else handling your business?
Oh no, type A personality, managing.
All right.
Yeah, in everywhere, security, artists backstage, like I'm the guy on the stage saying there's too many camera people on the stage to get them off. I hate a busy stage. I hate a busy stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you should speak to other people.
No, wait, I still want to finish with you, and then after I'm done with you, move to everybody else.
Yeah.
So now that you had Best Day Ever and Bacardi and Sunday Roast and all of those, I mean, maybe it's not fair to make you choose, but I want to know, Best Day Ever or Bacardi Holiday Club?
Best day ever.
Ooh.
Best day. Bacardi Holiday Club is a 3-day festival where people have an open bar.
Yeah.
And they are literally drunk for 3 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Best day ever, same concept, but I just have to do it for 1 day.
Which is easier.
Yeah, and once you start doing festivals, like, you have 3 stages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of walking, we've gone from 800 people to now 3,000 people that you have to take care of. Someone's stopping you like, where's my phone? So it's a lot more exhausting to do a Bacardi Holiday Club.
Yeah.
Where's the best day ever? I get to Cape Town, I go to Cabo or Grand Beach, I plug in,
Yeah.
the furniture's there. Okay, I always get my own sound.
Yeah.
You know, because
You never know.
yeah, so it's the one that's always simpler. Sunday roast was easier than Good Morning.
Yeah.
Good Morning, I need a back line because there's bands, there's guitars. Sunday roast, all I need is CDJs.
Yeah. And now that you've sold your shares, don't you think you're going to miss it?
That's what I was going to ask. Do you miss it?
Yeah, like, are you not going to miss this? You've done this for years, Jax.
I did it for 12 years, but I feel like everything has its time, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still part of the Until family, but I had to bow out. I was exhausted.
No beef whatsoever.
Yeah, no beef. Like, when you have to wake up every morning and convince yourself to go to work, you've lost it. You're no longer in it anymore.
Yeah.
And instead of making it everyone else's problem in my team, let me take myself out.
Yeah,
and
I
do
hear
something
that.
else. Yeah.
Wait, we're going to come to you now. So, tell us about Backroads, right? Before working with Spotify, Nike, Samsung, and all of those things, where did it start? Tell us about it.
So I said 7 years ago, we worked, I say we, myself and Samu.
Yeah, your co-founder, yes.
Co-founder, yeah.
Yeah.
we were working at an agency called Grid, design agency based in Ilovo.
Great.
It was my dream agency. It was the only place I ever wanted to work.
Yeah.
And I got an internship fresh out of varsity. And quickly, love brand design was the thing I love the most, really. And really what we specialize in still. But we kind of were really interested in just creating in general. We started a clothing brand. I say clothing brand. We made some T-shirts, which is actually how it started. Yeah. They just said "Oh" on one of them, and in like some brackets. And this is like 7 years ago now, 2017, I think. And that was kind of the start. But I think important to say, like, Until was moving at that time. There were a ton of like independent small agencies that were doing just incredibly cool shit. Yeah. And people, for example, who were consulting for Adidas and Levi's, the bread. Yeah. So it kind of gave us a bit of energy and a bit of like, we should try to start our own thing. And it was always with the thing, we'll kind of spur it up. If we suck, we'll just go back and get our jobs. Yeah. You know? It's, and kind of like Jaxx, we sort of calculated what our bare minimum salary could be, going from like nice agency jobs to like basically, on the ground, and then started from there. But it was really out of a love for sort of fashion, brand, culture, music, all that stuff, with the hope that we would maybe work for sportscene or Nike or any of these cool culture sort of shifting brands. And I think it was really because we took a leap, took a bit of a jump, and we're okay to fail, I think, is really the main thing. And kind of kept carrying on,
And speaking of failing, any lessons that you've learned along the way?
So many lessons.
Your biggest one. Tell us about it.
Oh man, biggest lesson.
Yeah.
Undercharging.
Ooh.
Overcharging.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
You lose a job all the same, you know?
Yeah.
Tax stuff.
That.
Income tax stuff was a crazy one. But I think generally it's like there's no playbook for this kind of thing, for starting an agency in South Africa. We had a reference. I think it was great. We came from a place that you kind of see what's happening, but you'll never understand the ins and outs. But I had a good partner, and we had a good sort of foundation, I think, and wanted to do it properly, wanted to do it seriously, and took our time with it. Fortunately, we were fortunate enough to be able to take a bit of time, and eventually.
And have you ever worked on something that you thought would slap but didn't?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like, stuff that just people didn't really resonate with. I think design is also about iteration, so you try a lot of things. Yeah. First presentations may not always go well. Second presentation, you're doing reverts, you're getting silly client feedback or good client feedback, But I think in creative fields, you get said no to a lot. And you kind of have to build a kind of thick skin around not being too precious, not thinking you're the cleverest person in the room, you know. Like if I'm working with Muzi knows what Muzi wants, you know, and it's for you, so how I don't know better than you know. So it's no, of course, it's just so we do get said no to a lot. And there's a lot of great work that doesn't make it or will never make it. Yeah. You kind of keep those and hold them for yourself, and one day, someone will pick it up and be like, hey, I have a shape for that or an idea for that. So,
And if you ever had to start, let's say you're starting all over, right? Listen, no laptop, no brand names, no nothing. How would you start? I mean, you know better now, so how would you start?
Myself and some would say we would never do it again.
You have to inspire the kids.
No. Me, myself, now, I could never start an agency from scratch. Yeah. I'd absolutely start another business, for example. But if I was to do it again, I think I would do a lot of the things in a similar way. I think one of the most important things for us, and I'm sure we'll talk about like financial admin and just
I'd get an accountant first.
100%.
Like in-house.
We did day one, like our longest employee is actually our accountant. Yeah. That's like literally from day one. Yeah. Because we said, because we're giving up our nice jobs, we really want to take it seriously. We want to make it worth it and all of that. So, you just got to kind of keep going. With
Yeah.
It, you know? Yeah.
And you know how a lot of brands speak about community, right? I want to know, how does sports scenes approach? Like, how did that interest you? How did you be like, oh my God, guys, what the hell am I saying? What I'm trying to say is that you know how a lot of brands speak about community, right?
Absolutely.
So now with sports scenes approach, that's exactly the route that they're going.
No, absolutely.
So how does that make you feel? Do you feel like maybe you needed this back then, or tell us about it? Yeah.
I guess the funny thing, we firsthand get
Yeah.
to work with Sportscene. So Sportscene is one of our amazing clients.
Yeah.
With Rash, I guess.
Oh,
We
okay.
actually, yeah,
Okay.
shout out to Sportscene.
Yeah.
And the whole team that we get to work with, Kitu and
Yeah.
everyone. But we actually did the Social Club branding. So
Oh,
shout out to and a bunch of cool stuff. And that's me and my team. It's never just me. It's like 6 of us. And,
Yeah.
ton of cool stuff. I think Rash hit me up on IG actually.
Yeah.
I think he had seen our work and we had a call, and I think it was quite like we had good chemistry and had a good understanding of what we want to do and what we're good at as an agency. And Rash lets us play a lot. But I think the great thing about Sportscene really, and Social Club in general, when we got the brief, it was that it was for the community. It was to give back to the youth and to really build a platform around purpose more than it just being like a cool thing, you know? And I think it's because of brands like Sportscene and even, you know, a bunch of other clients willing to take a chance on a younger agency, on a younger people. I mean, my agency, I think the average age is like 27, 26 maybe?
Yeah.
Which is something I'm incredibly proud of, you know? But it takes brave clients, brave brands to go with the independent agency, you know? To not go with the big guys. So I think it's the purpose is kind of baked in with Sportscene, and I think the fact that they came out with this initiative, it speaks volumes to their mission.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Rash, how did you discover Wade?
So I actually wanted to touch on that because I think it's a really simple and practical thing that often gets overlooked, and that is your portfolio.
Yeah.
So if it's your IG feed or whatever part of your work you put out there, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten into conversations where it's like guys are just wanting opportunity. I'm like, okay, cool. So show me your stuff.
Yeah.
So like, no, so I'm still getting some stuff out there, and I'm like, but can you show me anything? It's like, no, but it's like on my computer and
That's
this
the
and
problem.
that, and so that's a massive problem,
Yeah.
right? So if you can kind of just control the work that you put out. Don't overthink it. Like even if you think something's at a 60% or a 70% and you know you can do better, rather put it up. Because you never know who's going to come across your profiles and who's going to actually spot your work. Because maybe there's something that you might not be like 100% on, but somebody else might be looking for that exact like style of work, or you know, whether you are a musician, producer, graphic designer, photographer, etc., etc. So keep your work up to date as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when people start browsing and they're looking for stuff, that's where they're going to look first.
Yeah, I agree with that. You literally never know who's watching, guys. I mean, that's how I'm here. You know what I mean? Okay, Wade, back to you. I need to know, any projects that felt super personal to you? Like it wasn't just for clients. You felt, okay, no, man, this also feels super personal to me too.
Trying to think. We've been fortunate to do a lot of agency brands, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And I love working with founders and young creators. One that I think was special for me was the Wanda Lepoto rebrand. Shout out to Wanda. That one was special because I think we weren't trying to create a brand. We weren't trying to like have anything specific happen. It was a very organic process, and I think we were just designing some t-shirt graphics or something.
Yeah.
And we were in my apartment, and I was showing him stuff, and we stopped on this page that I had, and he was like, I think that's the brand, you know? And I was like, we both kind of felt that, and it was really cool, and I think that one felt personal because I think a lot of people engage with it and resonate with it, and Wanda's an incredible, you know, creative out of here and I think represents us in many ways.
Yeah.
So that one felt personal. I like doing merch and stuff, so anytime we get to like mess around and do a sticker pack or a t-shirt or any studio merch and stuff like that, I really love it. And we don't sell much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's usually just for our teams and for our clients and our partners, so yeah.
Do you get creative block?
Do I get creative block?
Yeah.
I'm sure I do.
Like, you know, when maybe a client sends a brief, does the idea just come to you immediately, or do you get like, do you need inspiration?
I think a part of my process has always been like, before starting work, just going to look at a bunch of stuff on the internet. Usually, I'm like from Tumblr era, so I think I would just be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, not looking at design stuff, to be honest. It'd be architecture or fashion or food or whatever, and that's usually where stuff kind of comes from. But creative block all the time.
I got you.
Yeah.
Sonwabile, over to you, my dear.
Yes, my dear.
Listen, my darling, you are everywhere at this point, right? But now Twitch is such a specific platform, you know what I mean? So how did you even get into streaming?
Streaming.
Yeah.
So I went from YouTube to streaming.
Right.
So I would say,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to start like streaming and stuff, I think you should start on TikTok, then like Instagram, YouTube, then you go to Twitch. But I would lie, my audience told me I need to start streaming from my YouTubes. They were like, yo, we think you have the personality to do Twitch, and I just went with it. I just go day by day. I'm living my life. I'm enjoying it day by day,
So what do you be talking about on Twitch? Just random stuff?
You just have fun. I'm telling you, you should be on Twitch. You have the personality for Twitch, I'm telling you.
Sonwabile is telling everyone this. He
Yeah,
told
I'm
me the same
sure.
thing earlier, like,
I'm
everyone
sure.
needs to get into it,
Yeah, you must just have fun, talk to people, react, do anything. I think streaming is the future. I won't lie. Even musicians are getting into it. Even my brother over here also is on Twitch, Nasty C, gaming. Casper is also gaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
I think streaming is the future.
Is anybody else on Twitch in the room?
Yeah.
Just one person?
Streamer, yeah.
2 people, 3 people? Sonwabile, you need to up your game. Just 3 people.
Can I ask him a question?
I'm
just curious. What's your... Because I'm assuming this Twitch... I'm 31, sorry. I'm assuming this... I'm assuming Twitch is that thing that like Case and Art and all of them are doing, right?
Oh my God.
So what does an average day look like for you? When do you start? When do you stop? Is it the same every day? Do you know? So I'm very inquisitive.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I don't really have a schedule.
Yeah.
But I try to be as consistent as I can, you know?
Okay.
During the night, you stream, you can do anything. It's like it's people following you in your real life. You
And
see,
those
even
people
this,
are always online.
always online. I know it's hard to believe. I know it's like, yo, how? But I'm telling you, there's people, it's a culture. People really do enjoy watching. Like you should also probably start streaming. I'm telling you. You understand? Everyone should be streaming. We want to hear your opinion. Sifuna uvuta tobawo ilife ikatato bawo njani hayi sifumane njani stuff like that. But they just follow you in your day to day. You can do, there's IRL streaming, there's gamers, there's people who just react. It's different.
Guys, they're telling me time. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna hand it over to you guys right now, right? Cause time. Guys, any questions you guys wanna ask? Preferably for Muzi, no Unestisi. Cause they don't want my questions. I'm joking, they like time. Yeah, we got a question. Yes? Mic, please.
Greetings everyone. My name is Blessing from Alpha Pride Productions. So my question is for Amahle. So I'm involved in politics also, having to work with, I've worked with parliamentary PCO, and my problem is that how they they do programs for young people, it's not effective enough. So thanks to sportscene, we get to convene young people like this to actually share knowledge and how to exchange. So my question to you is to say, what kind of programs and through the content that you do, what kind of youth do you want to see? And what kind of consciousness do you want them to be able to have? So yeah, I think I'll pack it there.
Sorry, I just want to ask, are you asking me what do I consume first and what do I want other people to understand based on what I do?
Yeah, basically like how you see South Africa hypothetically in the future with the current young people that is there.
So I personally, the reason I do the things the way that I do them is to get young people to understand how the system works, right? Because I feel like if we're talking about a national vote, everyone thinks that you should just go vote, but people, for example, don't understand that the municipal vote is probably the most important one, because that's who takes care of like your rubbish, your substation when it blows up, your lights and stuff like that. So what I would like to impart is to get more youth involved in politics. So when laws are being made, we're not getting a lot of young people saying anything, and then they're shocked when it's out in the news. They're like, oh, government has passed this and this and this. And they didn't know how that happened. Not everyone's gonna want to watch Parliament TV.
Yeah.
So I guess my purpose is to kind of give you the nuggets of information so that when you see like a government gazette that says like, oh, we're trying to change this law, introduce this law, you have the basic foundation and information to, you know, apply yourself to that. So to make a decision on that, do you know what I mean? And I think we're currently living in a very chaotic world where anything can happen. So you kind of almost have to understand why the world is the way it is. If you're sitting there and you're like, oh, bread has gone up again, and you kind of don't understand why, that maybe like a war happening in the Middle East increased the oil, and so now when we ship this thing that's needed for bread, those kinds of things. So I think my purpose is just for people to understand it more, because I find it entertaining. I think politicians are real housewives, but but two, I just want more people to be more informed, because this country was changed by young people in the past. And now we kind of have young people taking a back seat. And then when it's time to go to polls, we're making jokes about like, oh, we should hide our parents' IDs, but you're not voting either. So it's kind of just to equip you with a little bit more understanding of governance and that whole, what's that saying? You don't do politics, but politics does you. That vibe, yeah. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you for that question. Anybody else?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi,
in
Dawn.
shining your rights and your brights. Well, this is just for the whole panel. The question that I have, it's that I'm a podcaster and I'm a content creator in general. So the podcast place that I am like literally shooting my podcast is closing. So I've been watching a lot of branding about how to actually put and monetize yourself and my whole podcast, right? So I just wanted to ask, when it comes to branding, right? Because I'm very, very creative in multiple aspects. How can I brand myself and my podcast that it aligns to what I truly would like to impact? You understand? Basically, like, all I'm saying is that how do I connect my personality, right, with my vlogs, my YouTube, everything, right, with my podcast, that it actually makes sense for my channel? Thank you, guys.
All right.
So I think, me personally, I think people like to overcomplicate social media. And like, you must wake up and try your best on that day, and on the next day, and on the next day. There's a time I went to Sandton, I think, and I was vlogging with Spoo, my brother over there. And I met a guy who says, yo, bro, I look up to you, I want to do modeling. And I was asking him, yo, what have you done in today or even in the past week to get closer to that modeling thing. He's like, bro, yeah, boy, we are trying. I'm like, but what did you do, though? Like, you must, I think, just every day wake up and say, I'm gonna give this dream I have a chance every day, and everything is gonna unravel itself, you know? Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Wait, I have one random question for Muzi. Muzi, you're a genre blending force, right? You're doing all these genres, kwaito, bubblegum pop. I wanna know, what is bubblegum pop? Because guys, it's on his bio. It says bubblegum pop, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to ask him.
It's there's a long history of South African music and African music, and I usually like the same way that like America, for instance, they sample their OGs.
Yeah.
But in South Africa, we kind of don't have that thing. Like, rest in peace, like people like AKA and Ricky used to do that. Tina, we kind of don't, because we don't think that the music is dope enough, but the music actually is dope enough. So I look back at stuff like that to, I guess, inform my next adventure when it comes to creating.
Yeah.
I don't believe in genres. I think they're like pigeonholes. I think they box you in.
Yeah.
So my dream is to be a free creative, and because I'm black, sometimes even when you're talking about the money stuff and all of that, sometimes your need to survive can be pitched to you as if it's above your integrity. It never is. So like for me, it's I blend genres because when Western artists do it, we don't call them genre benders. We say, oh, that's so dope, you're so creative. But for us, why aren't you doing this? Why don't we understand you? And I don't find freedom in that. I feel that we, as South Africans, stand on the shoulders of giants, but we have to respect those giants. If someone fought for our freedom, then my job is to be free.
Okay, any more questions from the floor? We have one right there.
Hello, everyone. I have a quote on my wallpaper that says, create the things you wish existed, right? And by virtue of you guys being on the panel, you've done that, you know? Along the way, oftentimes, the reason you started isn't the same reason you continue. Once you've solved for, paying rent, once you've solved for this, like, what keeps you going? When everybody has their own reasons for starting on the panel, but I'm curious, has that reason changed? Is it the same thing that's pushing you still? And if it's changed, how?
Let's give that to you.
I don't know. I think for me, I really love making music, man. Music gave me a voice. Before music, I used to sketch a lot. I used to draw, and that's how I expressed. I'm a very quiet person, as you can see. So music gave me that voice, and it's something that I'll hold on to forever, I feel like. So it hasn't changed for me. Yeah.
And also, Nessie.
Did someone say purr? That's
Also, congratulations on hitting over 100 million streams on Audioland. Do you ever get used to this? Do you get used to this, or are you just like, another day, another milestone?
No, I'm grateful. Grateful
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Also, okay guys, so now it's time for the pitchings. Does anybody have any pitch? Someone's watching, guys. Sportscene is watching. Maybe they'd want to collaborate or something. Even if it's not Sportscene, maybe someone in the room might find your idea interesting. Is there anybody?
Can we give some context quickly? So what we're going to do is we're going to give, how many people? 5?
Yeah, 5. Okay, let's give 5, yeah.
We're going to give 5 people the opportunity to elevator pitch themselves right here, right now. And I'm just saying, some of our brand partners might be in the room as we speak.
They are in the room.
And there might be some giveaways for those who are brave enough to pitch themselves.
Can I pick? Mellow. we'll start with you. Let's go. I know you've got an idea there in your notes app. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Can we have...
Let's give him a mic.
You can't pick the people you know. Oh, shit.
Hello everyone. My name is Melo, and I'm a model, content creator, law student as well.
Please finish, eh?
The JC. Continue, law student, yes.
So it's not really like just my idea. It's an idea between me and like other friends of mine in the model industry. So it's called the Modern Men Workshop. So it's basically just for men to come through for an experience. We're like trying to get men in the industry that are doing wonderful things, that are moving people, you know, moving young men, inspiring young men to come through and just get a piece of advice, you know, so that they could, you know, feel inspired to do what they need to do. Also, grooming, fashion-wise, like grooming as in, you know, skincare, you know, how to just be a better man. I'm not trying to, you know, tell men how to be better and, you know, you should do this as a man. No. Modern man, you know, like, what does it mean, you know, for you guys, you know, to everyone in this room, to be fair. So, yeah, the idea is like, it's kind of finished, but it still needs a bit of work. But yeah, we're currently working on it. So, yeah, that's my pitch.
What's the handle?
Like my Instagram handle.
Yeah, how do people find you?
Oh, Melo Akbola on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah.
Lovely.
Sweet.
And you get a pen.
Melo Akbola. Just Melo A. It should like pop up. Yeah.
Right. And there's your prize, Melo. Thank you so much for being brave.
Shout out to
Thank
you.
Anybody else? Oh my gosh. Guys, sorry. There's a lovely lady here. You can do this. Come on. You should.
Yeah.
You should.
I should?
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ethel. I am a model, a creator, a fashion content creator, a creative director. And
don't worry, girl.
Yeah, okay. So, my pitch for today is the culture rack, where basically sportscene dedicates a rack in their store in Mall of Africa, maybe, if it's possible, you know, to creatives or fashion designers, stylists, preferably stylists, but fashion designers, content creators, anybody who's in the fashion industry, you know. Basically, where they style things, they create a style specifically for, in anything, to be honest. I'm not prepared, I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, babe. So, some themes that I've been thinking is Y2K, Joburg, streetwear, you know, drip for days on a budget, you know, just anything creative out of the box, but by creatives, local creatives who are really invested in the industry of creativity and fashion. And I feel like it would go far, you know, like maybe every month there's a creator who's coming in to the specific store to style up a rack, you know, and then people can go through his work and search him up and maybe even give him some credit and, you know.
Have to give him credit.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah, that's my pitch. Thank you.
We love that. Thank you.
That's a good idea. What?
Okay. Jax, I'll have you pick the next person.
That man in yellow had his hand up first.
Okay, the man in yellow. Right, hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Siwonelo CBC, handle Nelo CBC. I've been actually it's already a work in progress, but I've been posting it. I think I'm on week 36 now. So every single Friday I post Form Strip Friday. So that's just dedicated to Puma. That's it. So what I would like, because I work in production as a media coordinator, I'm tasked to put together brand ideas and strategies. So I think that would be such a beautiful thing to see the streets of South Africa just be together and just create every single Friday. So I think if that's something that I started by something like sportscene, that would be beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Let's have you pick the next person. No, let Nasty pick.
Yeah, her right here.
Guys, I'm sorry, you can't hate me.
Oh, good fun getting John.
Greetings to everybody here. I'm Chasm, I'm a musician, but I like being at the background, also a law student, that is irrelevant by the way. This is not exactly a pitch, but a pitch, because I'm obviously not prepared. I'll try to be quick as possible. As women in the music industry, to be specific, because I have songwriting skills and I usually direct like beats, you know. I have an ear as much as I do have the voice as well. But going back to that, sorry. As women in the music industry, there are not many producers and songwriters that are out there. It's always bigger beats and whatsoever. And I feel like it's also because of our work ethic and us being dependent on having producers like all the time. Because, excuse me?
No, I was saying cosign.
Yeah, we always depended on being co-signed by male producers or because it's a male-dominated industry, you know. So my idea, as I'm currently working on putting my own equipment together so that I learn how to make my own music, since I'm able to direct beats, would be if there would be a specific day or workshop where women that are interested, you know, in songwriting, that know that their songwriting skills are really good, they like being in the background, they don't really like being there, where they can pitch songs to artists, you know, popular artists, and they are going to also produce, you know, or create beats for, you know, established artists or artists that are still in the making. The women empowerment sort of thing, maybe in August.
Don't always do August.
Okay, sorry.
The whole year. The whole year.
All year round. Yeah.
Every month. We're tired of August.
Okay, sorry, but that's I hope if I get.
Thank you. Let's have someone in the back, because I mean, Chomi Mara, you spoke about your podcast.
Last one.
Chomi Mara, you spoke about your podcast. Chomi, don't put me in this situation. Someone in the back, last person. Rash, you have to pick. I'm not going to do this. He's picking.
Okay, wait. This man over here with the glasses and the cap.
Thank God, that was not on me.
Good evening.
Okay,
Kagiso Morake by birth name, I guess. Kagiso Morake _ on Instagram, I guess. I'm an architect. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a DJ, validation DJ. And overall, I'm a cyclist. I'm a biker. But I go by the thing of an adventurous spirit. And the term adventurous spirit is doing as much as you can to accommodate as much as you can. And my pitch is that as an architect, we collaborate in a lot of things. I'm sure you know, as a designer, until doing events, you know, collaboration is the solution to this building. There was an engineer, there was an electrical engineer, there was probably a sound engineer to understand why isn't the road affecting us while we're in this building. And I'm wearing my local friend's brand, and I always tell them, I'm like, bro, the importance of collaborating with someone is so important, because you don't know what you can start doing. Imagine Trilogy Scientist. You know, you're collaborating with a scientist and you're creating a beautiful brand. It's putting two communities together. And my dream has always been to design spaces where people, and I'm saying architectural spaces where people can start collaborating with different personalities, brands, be it you're a doctor, be it you're a lawyer. Imagine a lawyer and Nasty C taking out a song about freedom fighters. Do you understand what I mean? So it's collaboration is the number one thing that can change the country and just the creative space at large. So that's just my dream, creating a collaboration space where we only do art of collaboration. No individualistic you know, just art of collaboration. And yeah, that's my pitch. Mic drop maybe?
Thank you, Kagiso. All right, guys. Now on to the socials,
just
right?
quickly, before we move on. So I just want 30 seconds of feedback here quickly. Okay, just by show of hands, who's looking for opportunity? Okay, so pretty much most of the people in this room, right? So the reason we did these pictures now is to highlight something. If you're looking for the opportunity, are you going to be ready when it comes your way? Are you going to be prepared when it comes your way? Are you going to be able to, in 30 seconds, give a clear description of who you are, what you do, and how we're going to work together? It's super, super critical for everybody in this room who are looking for those opportunities to be prepared when the opportunities comes your way. That's the reason that we did it. Shout out to ASICS for providing a prize for everybody that was brave enough to speak. But this is really, really, like, this is one of those things that you need to walk away from here saying, man, if only I was better prepared, you know, for that opportunity. So we're going to move on now to the last bit. I know we are out of time, but
which
we're
is
going to hand
the
over.
socials on the Social Club app. Actually, Rash, since you know about the app and you're telling people to share, like, and stuff, I don't know about it.
So I think we all got the gist of what tonight is about, right? It's about collaboration. It's about coming together. It's about sharing our skills with one another. It's about learning from the guys who have gone before us, learning from their, you know, achievements, learning from their mistakes, and walking away with value. So the way that we grow this thing going forward is by not keeping it to ourselves. And so as a final thing to end off this panel discussion, we want to encourage everyone in this room to actually share the link online. If you have downloaded the app, if you go to the first article that says join the club, please share it with your friends. Not everybody got the chance to be invited to here tonight, but you guys now, you've got the plug, right? So we put you on tonight. Now it's your opportunity to put your friends on. And so that's going to be the last thing that we do before we head into the night, into the entertainment, into the party vibes.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do it right now.
Yeah.
If you want to, there are going to be some giveaway prizes if you share it on your socials. But that's the last thing that we want to leave with you tonight. Please go onto the app, download it if you haven't. Go to that first article and then share the link with your friends. But we just want to say thank you.
Yes.
For doing such a great job to you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our amazing panelists. I think they've shared some really, really beautiful and amazing insights and stories from their life. And then just thank you massively to you guys for actually taking the time to come out tonight. And we just hope that you enjoy the night further.
Yeah, I'm sure our bums are painful, right? So let's go dance. Now we got Muzi on the decks. Then later on we got Nasty C. Then D Trades. So come guys, let us go upstairs and go dance, right? Thank you for coming.